What if I told you that the number one most common and best strategy to improve in any skill is actually not the best strategy, but can actually lead to a lot of time being wasted? All my life, my dad said, practice, 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 and you will get better. To pass my math exams, to get better at soccer. And the advice, practice, 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 it does work 100%. But what if I told you that there's something else, another thing, which can help you master whatever you're practicing 100 times quicker? You see, I've been playing chess since I was 7 years old. I didn't play a lot and I didn't really care about my rating until I was at the age of 14. From 14, I tried my utmost best to improve my rating. I played game after game after game. I played for hours with hundreds and hundreds of people online on chess.com, but sadly my rating still remained 900, the same it was 5 months from then. And then I realized that the pathway I was trying to take to improve my rating was completely the wrong one and a very slow pathway. I played game after game after game trying to rush the process, trying to brute force my way to a high rating. But you see, those games I played, I never analyzed those games. I never analyzed and got feedback on where I was making mistakes, where I was making blunders, and where I was making the good moves. I didn't know the repetitive mistakes that I was making each game. I didn't know why a certain opening wasn't working for me. But then finally, after seeing how the grandmasters played, I found out their secret, which to be honest isn't really much of a secret at all. From then onwards, I watched almost every Gotham chess video there was. I analyzed famous games of chess players. I analyzed my games especially. I got the feedback and tried improving my next game. I saw where I was making the blunder and I tried not to repeat that the next game and then the next game. I saw which openings I was really good at and saw how I could have improved on those openings even more. I saw where my opponents were likely to blunder. Slowly, I started winning more games. My rating started increasing slowly but steadily. Now, not to brag or anything, because it isn't the best compared to maybe some of you guys watching, but guess what my rating is currently? Currently, I'm at a rating of 1433, I think, in chess.com. Am I the best chess player in the world? No. But did I improve significantly in only a few months? Absolutely. The secret to improving 100 times faster in any skill you want, whether this be chess, piano, the guitar, school, coding, or even life itself, is analyzing and taking feedback. Let me tell you what I actually mean by feedback and the analyzing aspect. Imagine somebody trying to improve their SAT scores. For those who don't know what the SAT is, it's kind of like a board exam you give in America. So imagine somebody trying to improve their SAT exam score. You have two options. One, you spend every time giving countless of practice tests, hoping to improve with every test you give, hoping that even if it's 10 points more than the previous test, you still continue to improve with every test you give. The thing with this approach is that you will improve. Your score will continue to get better with every test you give. But the amount of time you spend studying for the SAT, giving these exams, is going to be very, very high, especially because one test alone is 3 hours long. Now, option 2, you also give practice tests, but this time after each test you take some time to review and analyze the specific parts you got stuck on. This time you see which questions you took the most time in, you see which questions you got wrong. And then you research on the ways you can improve on that certain question. You find the techniques which the professionals use to tackle this question. You research on the ways you can master this specific question. And finally, after you are fully confident that you have mastered this specific question you were stuck on, only then do you move on to give the next practice test. Which student do you think will perform better in the SATs? The student who approaches the SATs with option 1 or option 2? If you said option 2, you're wrong. Both will do equally as good. However, the student who took the option 2 approach would have spent half as much the time as the student who took the option 1 approach. Output is the same for both students. They got the same results, but the effort each had to give is very, very different. Here's what the student who took option 2 actually did. First, he gave the practice test. In other words, he practiced the skill. And then after the test, he analyzed the output. He analyzed where he made the mistakes. He reviewed his test. He reviewed his skill. He saw the areas which he could improve on more. He identified the mistakes and rooms for improvements In other words, he got the feedback after analyzing. And then he saw the videos on YouTube on how to solve those mistakes he identified while analyzing. He researched the tips and techniques the professionals use to answer these questions on the SATs faster. In other words, those problems he faced, those mistakes he found while analyzing, he solved them. These are the 3 steps that you can take to improve on any skill you want. These are the steps that I took to improve significantly in chess. First, you have to do the skill. You have to practice the skill. You have to take the test. You have to take action. And then you have to see which parts you are shit at, which parts you can improve on. You have to analyze and take the feedback you get after analyzing. And then step 3, you have to research on ways you can solve your problems. You have to see how you can solve the areas you're shit at. You have to research on those tips and techniques which professionals use to do the skill better than you. And finally, step 4, you have to repeat step 1. You have to repeat step 1 with the better and new knowledge that you have. Only then, after you solve those problems you were initially facing, are you going to improve the next time. And then you repeat the cycle again and again and again until you master the skill, until you get really, really good at the skill. If you want to get better at anything in much, much less time than it would take if you just practiced, analyze and get feedback. That's the only thing you need to do to improve on anything, whether this be life, chess, coding, the SATs, analyze and get feedback. Anyways, bro, see you in the next one.